We all see how much young people are ending themselves nowadays. The rate at which the S word or the S thing is happening is high, especially among young people. So in this video, I'm going to teach you ways in which to prevent it. Yes, ways in which to prevent it. This is Augusta Tay. Welcome back to my channel. So first of all, you have to let these children know that they will face challenges. Challenges is part of life. Let them know that they will face challenges, and you have to teach them how to handle it. A lot of the time, we just concentrate on providing for them, telling them about being good, going to school, teaching them how to make money, and then we neglect this important aspect. We neglect teaching them how to cope with stress, how to let go, how to handle stress, how to handle stressful situation. And as a parent, that is your responsibility, because if you don't teach them how they can handle stress, then someone else will go and tell them something, it's going to suggest ways, or how will I say, wrong ways as to how they can handle stress. So instead of someone else go and tell your children things that are not okay, or go and tell them things that may be wrong, why not you do it beforehand? You have to let them know that this is part of life. Trials, tribulation, problems, they are part of life, and problems can happen to good people. Maybe you have a child that will always think that, okay, I don't offend, I don't bother anybody, I'm nice to everybody, so nobody will bother me. No. Let them know that they don't have to bother anybody. They don't have to be bad. They can be nice, and bad things can happen to good people. So let them know that trials is part of life. They have to know that, and they have to know that it is very important to handle trials, to handle issues in the right way. The importance of their handling it in the right way. So, as a Christian, you can give reference to a lot of instances in the Bible about people that loved God, people that fear God, people that are nice, and then bad things happen to these good people. There are a lot of them in the Bible. We can talk about Job, we can talk about Joseph. They were nice. Joseph didn't do anything to his brothers. His brother hated him, and they sold him off into slavery. At first, they were even plotting to end his life. So tell them stories about this. Job was a good man. And then the enemy just come from nowhere and go and ask permission to God that he wants to inflict Job. And that if he inflicts Job, Job will return his back from God. And God gave him the permission. And Job lost everything. A very good man. A man that fears God. A man that doesn't offend people. He lost everything. The only thing that remains was his wife. He was wealthy, lost his money, his children, his wealth, everything, and he becomes sick too. He became sick. That's a lot for someone to handle. But what did Job do? Job kept trusting God. He never gave up on God. He never gave up on God. He kept trusting God. To the extent that one day his wife looked at him and said, with everything that have happened to you, you are still trusting this God? Why don't you curse God and die? But Job said, no, I'm not going to curse God. So you have to tell them these stories, and you have to let them know that bad things can happen to good people, because this is one thing too that can frustrate somebody. If your child doesn't know that bad thing can happen to good people, he or she will question, why is this happening to me? He or she will lose faith in God. He or she will think that God doesn't love him or her. But if you let him or her know that God will allow these things to happen to you in order to glorify himself, in order to teach you things, in order to develop you. Because yes, sometimes God had to let us go through a lot of pain in order for us to learn how to love ourselves, in order for us to learn how to create and enforce boundaries, in order for us to see people for who they are. So if your children doesn't get this understanding, instead of them using that trials empowers themselves to learn from it, they will allow the trial to destroy them. And that is why I decided to make this video, because I'm a parent too, so that we will not neglect that other aspect. It's good to take care of your kids, give them money, give them gifts, buy for them things, encourage them to have education, show them skills that will help them to be empowered financially, that will help them to be financially independent. Those are all good, but we should not neglect the other aspects, the emotions, how they should deal with emotions, how they should deal with problems. It is also important for you to teach your children how to forgive. It is a skill that you have to learn, because by ourselves it's so hard to forgive. Tell them about forgiveness, the importance of forgiveness, why